The AFL, the umpires, they're all lying to us. Everyone's throwing everyone under the bus. We need to talk about what just happened on the agenda setters. So for those who have been living on the rock or not knowing what's happening with Lachie Schultz against Fremantle, Locky Schultz was hit when he went to tackle Jordan Clark, and it was an accidental contact. That's not what we're talking about here. And Locky Schultz got knocked out, and he was on the ground, and it was super scary. When a player looks like that, you know, I thought the worst. And he was struggling, and there were players around him, but the play kept going, and everyone's like, what are we doing? Stop, stop, what are we doing? We need to stop the game, right? The play kept going, Jamie Elliott kicked a goal. And then Locky Schultz, during that time, the trainers got out there, were taking him off the ground. At the end of the game, Darcy Moore and Craig McRae said this.
Darcy Moore, your skipper, said it would have been good if they'd stopped the game. Are you on the same page with that? Can you talk us through the moments as that was happening?
Yeah, we're all sort of just worried about his welfare, and we called for the stretcher. And the doctors were trying everything they can to sort of just, get Lockie okay. And he sort of jumped to his feet because it's just the way he goes, isn't he? He gets knocked down, he gets up at every contest. And so we did what we could. But, yeah, ideally you could stop the game.
Yeah, it was. Well, we were pretty concerned just at how severe he looked, like how disorientated he looked, and we sort of, first thing, both players on both teams sort of thought the game should have been stopped at least for 20 seconds to let him off the ground. Obviously, a lot of the Freo guys connected to Lockie as well, so that was really our first concern because of just how nasty it looked. But
you definitely thought it should have been stopped, the game, at that point?
Felt like, well, he was right in front of me, so I could see sort of how much he struggled walking, so it just felt like 20 seconds. It was a set shot anyway, so felt like it was right in that moment, but clearly it only happens when it's near the play. So just it felt like out here in the moment that like someone's in a state like that and we're still running around chasing a footy. It didn't feel right.
Now, to you and me, an average person who watches the football, we see something like that happen and we go, oh my God, stop the game, take him off the ground first, bring out a stretcher, do whatever we need to do. Because we've seen earlier on in the season, the umpire stopped the game for Nick Dacos's cramp in opening round against the Giants. He stopped the game completely. And we've seen a couple of instances like this throughout this season, right? But for this Locky Schultz incident where he was absolutely knocked out, they didn't stop the game and the game kept going. And then the next day, the AFL came out and said, hey, look, we've seen the vision and we've talked to the umpires. If the umpires had seen what had happened, the game would have been stopped. So let me read you exactly what the AFL came out and said after that Locky Schultz incident the next day. The play can be stopped by the umpires, who are instructed to stop play as soon as they are aware that there is an injured player in the vicinity of play. In last night's match, the umpires did not see the injured player at the time, so play continued. Upon review, if umpires were aware, play would have been stopped when Dacos had possession in the middle of the ground. Now, okay, right? You see that or you hear that and you go, look, maybe they didn't see, even though everyone else was seeing, but maybe they didn't see. You give them the benefit of the doubt. Then you look at the vision again and you see this one umpire who is about 3 meters away from the incident. And then people start going in comments and on Facebook and Instagram and all this sort of stuff. They're going, what do you mean he didn't see? What do you mean that this guy right here didn't see that this had just happened? What are they looking at? It's not like it was an off-the-ball incident. Jordan Clark had the ball in his hand. So they are looking at that collision because he had the ball in his hand. They're looking at the ball. Locky Schultz gets knocked out. The ball moves, whatever. But you're telling me they didn't see it. Okay, that's a little bit weird. That's a little bit weird. Then a couple of days pass and no one's really sort of talking about it anymore. It's sort of water under the bridge and everyone at AFL House and the umpiring are just breathing a sort of sigh of relief, right? And then Kane Corn says, oh mate, I've got something juicy on the agenda setters at Channel 7. Tune in and it's going to blow everyone's mind, right? He didn't say exactly that. He said something to that effect. And then Caroline Wilson, Kane Corns on the agenda setters on 7, they came out with footage and audio from the umpires of the night discussing the Locky Schultz hit when it happened, that he was on the ground, that they were specifically watching him and letting the play go ahead. Even though the next day after it happened, the AFL came out and said the umpires didn't know that that happened. If they were made aware, they would have stopped the game. But then the audio says otherwise. They were fucking made aware. Are you kidding me?
That was the AFL statement, ticked off by Laura Kane, ticked off by Andrew Dillon, ticked off by Josh Marnie, the head of umpires. And then this vision emerged of what really took place on Thursday night.
Play on. You. Yep. The injured player in the middle.
Yep.
I'm watching. Let it go, let go.
You.
Still me. Have we looking?
We're okay. We're okay.
You try to understand?
You watch. Oh. It's okay. What do you think, Craig?
Away from it, so.
Pardon?
We have
Who's lying? Are the umpires lying to the AFL? Are the AFL aware of this and they're just trying to cover their tracks? Someone is lying to someone, and this is just absolutely blown up. And good. It should blow up. It absolutely should blow up, because now there was mistrust with the umpiring decisions just in general, right? So I was going to make a video later on in the week, just a little umpiring sort of doco, if you want, because I love making mini docos now, about this Locky Schultz incident, the Blitzstav's touch just around the arc, the Cozzy Pickett trip that you're telling me 1,000 umpires couldn't see, but everyone in the stadium could see, and how, as AFL supporters, we have mistrust of the AFL now, and the way it's umpired and adjudicated. And now, you're telling me now that we have no reason to trust them at all anymore, because someone is lying to us. Someone is pissing on us and telling us that it's raining, right? I don't like getting pissed on, especially not by an organization that I'm paying money to go and see, that I'm going to the MCG and paying $8 for hot chips that are like me warm with a little bit of salt on them, right? I don't want them to piss on me and tell me it's raining. God damn it. And it's just all blown up, and good. Stuff him. It needs to blow up. So on the agenda setters as well, and on Footy Classified, or one of the footy shows on Channel 9, they came out and said Laura Kane and Andrew Dillon didn't even know this audio existed.
We telephoned Laura Kane today, and Laura Kane was unaware that this vision was available.
She had no knowledge of that vision at all when you contacted her today?
No. Suffice to say that Laura Kane is very disappointed, and this afternoon, all 4 umpires, in fact all the field umpires from that game on Thursday night at Optus Stadium, were called into AFL House. Laura used the word coached. I would say strongly counselled. I would say it was a pretty tense meeting.
You'd hope so.
And in which the umpires were strongly reminded that they should have stopped the game. Incredibly, they say that the reason they didn't stop the game is that they had no memory of seeing the incident. Can I read Laura Kane's statement that she's given to the agenda setters? The statement we released was incorrect. That's the statement that we showed at the start of this show. But we were given the wrong information from the umpires. It's inconsistent with the vision. They, the umpires, were going off memory and not the vision, and we should always look at the vision. All the field umpires from the game have all been coached this afternoon that they should have stopped the game, says Laura Kane. Having said that, says the footy boss of the AFL, this is on me. It's the footy department that runs umpiring, and that sits with me. It was,
I don't know, a little bit weird, because we've known for a while that the umpires, we have audio of the umpires, because we just happened to have heard it a couple of weeks ago when we thought there was a 5th umpire upstairs sort of instructing everyone. But anyway, Laura Kane came out tonight and said this: the statement we released was incorrect, which was the day after the Locky Schultz incident. But we were given the wrong information from the umpires. It's inconsistent with the vision. So she's throwing the umpires under the bus straight off. They, the umpires, were going off memory and not the vision, and we should always look at the vision. All the field umpires from the game have all been coached this afternoon that they should have stopped the game. Having said that, this is on me. It's the footy department that runs umpiring, and that sits with me. So she's trying to fall on the sword here, martyr, whatever. In this, where she says, they were going off vision and not, they were going off memory and not the vision, and we should always look at the vision. This should have been, so what kind of internal investigation were they running after this Lachie Schultz incident? Like, they're quick to judge football players for their behaviour or this or that or this or that and look at all the evidence. But when it's like, our player's saying, oh, no, yeah, we just went off our memory. Like, do you not ask that question when this is sort of happening? When you know for a fact you have the audio, like, I don't know, like, it's just really, really, really weird that this is happening, that this is what's, I don't know, like, and I'm losing my train of thought and the words because I'm so angry and upset that it's absolutely frustrating. Now, this is drawing a long string or whatever the hell that saying is, but where she says the umpires were going off memory and not the vision, and we should always look at the vision, very much contradicts what they do with the Brownlow, right? Because the Brownlow is all about memory and not looking at the stats. So running off that, we should always look at the vision. They were going off memory and not the vision. We should always look at, with the Brownlow, and I know this is a different tangent, shouldn't they look at the stats now and not go off memory if their memory can't be trusted? So how can we trust that the Brownlow for the last 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years has been the correct, and the correct player was awarded the Brownlow medal if we can't trust the memory of the umpires who are only, doing one game? And I get it. It's a hard job. I'm not coming out here and saying, oh, anyone can be an umpire. I hate to be an umpire. They're running 15 kilometers. They're part-time and they should be full-time, and I understand that, and I get the predicament that they're sort of in. But it just pulls into question every little bits and pieces of things now, one of the umpires, I can't remember who it was. I was doing this research for the video that I was going to work on it, and if you still want to see it, I'll still do it because I haven't started it yet. I've just got the script ready and stuff like that. One of them works so he's part-time as an AFL umpire and part-time as a Sportsbet consultant or something, which the AFL have ticked off, but Sportsbet are the AFL's betting partner. So that's a bit weird as well. So now it's pulling into question and everything that the AFL said about umpiring or everything that the umpire's doing, it's all going to be questions, all going to be heavily scrutinized. So this weekend is going to be absolutely insane. And I don't know if there's a game on Thursday. Is there a game on Thursday? I'm just going to check now. So there's a game on Thursday. So the Gold Coast Suns Hawthorn game is going to be a very, very, very interesting watch as to what sort of happens. I don't know if it's going to be a big change or whatever, but these next couple of days, something is going to have to happen. And, our captain, Darcy Moore, is the head of the Players Association, the president of the Players Association. Okay, if this happened to a Gold Coast player, he'd still be fighting for them. But it's happened to one of his teammates, one of the guys that he goes into war every week with. Now, Locky Schultz can't play for 2 weeks. Fair enough, concussion protocols. But something else could have happened. Who knows what could have happened if the ball was there and hit, whatever, something else could have happened. This is just calls into question player welfare. It just brings up so many things now. And I said this on my Instagram reel. This is probably one of the biggest things to happen to AFL House in a very long time. This is an absolute bombshell. And this is the kind of journo reporting that I'm here for. This is the kind of journo reporting that I want to see from Kane Corns. I don't give a freaking hell what Kane Corns said like a couple minutes after that thing was Isaac Quaino's, spraying his perfume, and who was saying that Essendon players are asking him if he smelled nice. That's not reporting for me. That's not fun. Who gives a shit about that? I want more of these hard-hitting stories. So this was amazing. Then you had that crap with the perfume. Aftershave, whatever you want to call it. I'm just really frustrated, and I have lost all faith in the umpiring system. I've lost all faith in AFL House as well. And I don't know, Collingwood can't sue or anything. I'd love them to. I don't know if they got no leg to stand, I don't think. But I hope Collingwood are furious. I know that Collingwood would be furious. And I'm thinking about Locky Schultz in all of this, and I'm hoping he's well and hoping he's better. But it is just absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Anyway, guys, that's been my rant. I needed to get all of that off my chest. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you trust the umpiring? What can they do moving forward to gain your trust back? But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.